Nathor Shil Yachad Nuwabakedi Waloy Ma'urwo, the pledge of the United Nuwabian Nation of Moors. Ama Kakdemu Sefunut Hade Gedash Manuf, as I stand beneath our sacred and holy flag. Kanderu Ruki Maul Ke Kehikano, Ama Kashgeru Zitaur. I vow to be loyal, obedient as I watch it fly. Ru Ganunwu Shil Manu Naunut Faref Nawus Weloinut, to the laws of our Constitution that govern our nations. Ru Hare Sabu Kahmelu Tupusubhem, to this cause I hold my head up high. Akara Garur Kantero Ru Harus Hade Tahum, with pride I pledge to protect and defend. Kalu Akara Hare Walao Weloy Kalu Hanuf Hade Samur, all within this great nation, both family and friend. Ru Yankud Faref Karetkut Mu Adorhut Hagoyu, to ensure all has their equal rights. Ru Hare Sabu Kazur Gedu Atnachum, to this cause I will lay down my very life. Ama Kapdemu Tachuth Haresan Un Hade Gedash Danun, as I stand beneath this sacred and holy seal. Kanderu Nafusum Mewa Chelas Hade Kazut Menu Tiat Mewikanu Akara Khera. I vow myself loyal, sincere, and vow integrity with zeal.
So sitting next to you, or sitting behind you or front, so sitting next to you, you might be sitting next to Black Devil.
It states in Psalms chapter 82, verse 6, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
This is the Elder Raziel with a message for the children of the Elohim. I walked a long journey on the short path, where after this mind expands math itself. Came through with the master teacher. Get wealth from what I have to teach you. Not a preacher, the Anunnaki created this creature, fully packed with features. Nuwabu, knocking off leeches. Peace to Malachi, Ziyor, Noble Jew Ali, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Respect and pay homage from the NUWABIAN tribe. We hope to see you. We still kicking the flows. All the girls know. Just listen to show so your mind grows toward a genetic explosion. X out whoever was chosen by deception to sell out Negro, the greatest destruction. Without question, knowledge is a weapon. Like Cain, ain't no half-stepping to a greater direction. Rit Nalej Radio. Peace to all the Moors out there. How are we doing? You know what I'm saying? This is show 56. And this is your host, Murhuta Hedokayu. Now give yourself a big round of applause for being here. And we're going to continue the reading of the 9 ball. You know what I mean? We need to have knowledge or knowledge of self, which we really don't have right now, which is really a shame that we look at all these beautiful Moorish brothers and sisters out there who don't know themselves. We got women dressing scantily, trying to get attention and trying to get your paycheck, brother. But beauty comes from within, not from without. They learned that from the Caucasoid. Now, don't get me wrong. We want brothers. No, we don't want brothers. We want sisters to look beautiful, and we want brothers to look beautiful too. I don't want to act like I am anti-gay, but I don't want to make it seem like I got a phobia. I don't have a phobia. You know what I mean? So anyway, we want beautiful brothers and sisters to stay beautiful within and without. You know what I'm saying? In and out. shouldn't be just one of the other. Because when your spirit and your soul is beautiful, that conquers all, right? You could be getting old on the outside, but you're still beautiful on the inside. People want to hear and know about how you're doing. So this is all important in the phase of life, of your physical life, before you go to the realm of light, as our ancestors in Tamaray used to call it. Okay, now, let me put myself on the screen. Oh, something happened here. I'm trying to put myself on the screen. You know, I was messing with some of the settings here earlier. I think I messed it up, y'all. I think I messed it up. Yeah, I pretty much messed it up. That's all right. You can still hear my voice. Everything's all good. I'm not quite sure what happened. All right, but the show must go on. Oh yeah, let's give the date here. The date in Nuwabic is the first day of the 17th month of Ma'at. So week 1, day 1, the day of Anu, Tashu Anu. So there it is there, our Nuwabic date, and that would be year 83. And the Gregorian date is going to be June 5th, Wednesday, 2024. So according to the Gregorian date, the master teacher's birthday is in 3 weeks on a Wednesday, 21 days from now. And let me put out there that if you're looking for the holy tablets on that week, starting that Sunday and ending Saturday at 11:59 p.m., we're going to have the holy tablets for $200. Instead of $300, it's going to be $200 that whole week. And that'll be on Amazon and eBay. So if you guys are looking for a deal on the holy tablets and you need that information to drop on other brothers and sisters to help wake up their 9 mind and their 9 reasoning, then get the holy tablets. You also might want to purchase the 9 ball and Bible interpretations and explanations, because that's why we're reading the book, because it's so fundamental to your existence and life itself, and looking out for self and kind as a MOOR. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a NUWABIAN. You know, you should be following these booklets to the best of your ability. Because remember, as the booklets, 9 Ball and Bible Interpretations Explanation, it says, no one can free you. You must free self. No one, male or female, and I'm sorry, ladies, no man can save you either. You got to save self. And that's it. And if you're under so much garbage of ignorance and stupidity, an unintelligent person cannot save self. They must enslave themselves to someone else who is intelligent enough to gather resources, put his own mind in order to work out some type of process where the output is favorable toward the one who initiated the process through intelligent 9 mind. That will produce 9 knowledge. Okay, which is a perfect segue. Let's get into reading this. Now today, we're going to read count 1C through count 1E. And then the next episode, we will indulge in count 2. Inshallah. Okay. All right. So count 1C, 9 knowledge. Verse 20. Knowledge is knowing. Knowledge is scientific information. 9 knowledge is correct scientific information. By scientific information, we mean knowledge proven by 9 reasoning, experience, or evidence, or any combination of the 3 factors. By scientific knowledge, we mean information proven and organized in such sequence as to put the mind in proper order. 9 knowledge is the best information attainable in the universes. That's pretty powerful, right? That's pretty powerful. Said it's the best information attainable, meaning you can get it if you go through the right channels, have the right spiritual guides, right? You can attain this information, some of the best attainable information in the universe. Okay. 9 knowledge is the leader and liberator and elevator of the Ethiopian race, of the Ethiopian race. All woolly-haired people who have their ability to understand 9 knowledge and adhere to it. 21. 9 knowledge is Ethiopian knowledge by nature, composed and disclosed by Ethiopians, that is, woolly-haired people. One of the major enemies of the Ethiopian race is ignorance. The word Cain and Negro spell the word ignorance, because Cain, which is short for Caucasian, the white man, produced ignorance and created the mental dependent called Negro or Negro. The enemy of an intelligent mind is ignorance. Therefore, 9 knowledge provides the mental strength necessary to fight off this natural foe and help prepare a protective defense against it. Universal and natural knowledge, to be known as 9 knowledge, is the resurrector of the mental dead called Negroes. And it also gives a pretty good perspective on the word Negro from a NUWABIAN perspective. Now, this book also uses the word black, and black is the same word as Negro. It's just 2 different languages, so go figure. But I'll try to leave a commentary as I'm reading about the word black and Negro. Okay, 22. 9 knowledge deals in origins, because origins are the beginnings of beings, and in beginnings are found the true nature of all beings. Stop. Look. That sentence right there, if you're able to put any importance on what was just said right there, everything in the universe has an origin other than Timtah. Timtah, we don't know the origins of that, right? But what that sentence says right there, the origins of everything, the origins of our race, the origins of your nation, the origins of your tribe, the origins of your language, the origin of the enemy, the origin of the enemy. You know what I mean? Names, places, dates, senses, documentation. Go back into the source of your enemy, because the enemy then lied so much about your origins. Because as some Negroes are just floating through their own existence, they never bother to look back and say, oh, we're from here. Oh, they lied about this. Or they're labeling us blacks or Negroes or porch monkeys, niggas, whatever they're labeling us. That's because they were too stupid to speak our languages, right? They're too stupid to adapt, So they had to go to domination. Now these things are coming back to haunt them and their children. And it will be a haunting until the day that the bloodline may die out, unless they ask for repentance. That's how it goes, Caucasoid. Sorry. All right, let's keep going. One does not really know a person, place, or thing until he knows the true nature of that person, place, or thing. Knowing and disclosing the true nature of persons, places, and things are nine knowledge, the Ethiopian universal science. It is vital to Ethiopian survival and well-being that we know and identify ourselves, can know and identify others, including our enemies, can know and identify our surroundings and everything affecting our present and future. These booklets, entitled The Nine Ball, will provide us with this survival and liberation information. All right, so we should be paying attention to stuff like this. All right, verse 23. Knowledge is correct information. Wisdom is knowing how, where, and when to use knowledge. Therefore, it is the correct use of knowledge. And understanding is the receiving of knowledge via the senses and is the unity of knowledge and wisdom. Hence, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding are our road to liberation. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding are their definition to the Ethiopian universal science, NUWAPU. Just as nine reason is the Ethiopian in his and her right mind, nine knowledge is the Ethiopian in his or her right guidance. 24. Never accept a speaker or writer's information until you know his definition of the key words he or she uses. For then and only then do you know what he or she actually had in mind when the person spoke or wrote. Always demand a clear definition for all power and keywords and phrases in any information or on liberation or any other vital issue. For this is the only way there is ever a true meeting of the minds between the speaker and listener or writer and reader. And a true meeting of the minds is necessary to help you determine and conclude whether a speech or writing is right or wrong, true or false. Let these booklets be your guide on definitions. All right, I think a mouthful was pretty much said there by Amanubi Rakta. Don't be misled by double talk or double speech or philosophy. Know what the speaker is saying. And if you don't, ask a question, right? The power to ask a question really goes beyond words. You know, the ability to not be scared and to ask even people in power questions is a pretty special thing for the gods to have. And we are gods unless you don't have enough knowledge to be a god. Then you need to get your knowledge up. But as long as you walk the path, the wa'ut, then you should be fine. All right. Now we're getting into section count 1D is called 9 liberation. So verse 25. Of course, 9 liberation is Ethiopian liberation. The liberation of people with woolly hair. Liberation for a person, place, or race is mental and physical separation from adverse forces. Excuse me. Freedom for a people or race is having the privilege and power to make its own laws. Hence, freedom can come only to those people who achieve liberation from captivity. The Ethiopian race is not only physically captive, to mankind, but also captive to his cultures and inventions. And this means woolly haired people are mental captives to adverse forces as well as physical. Mental captivity is the worst kind of captivity because it means that the person is mentally dependent on the captor. Mankind is all peoples with straight hair by nature. Verse 26. We Ethiopian scientists know that that the mental person controls the physical person, meaning the mind of a person controls his or her activities. Therefore, if the mind is ignorant, the activities of that person will be the works of ignorance. On the other hand, if the mind is knowledgeable, the activities of the person who possesses it will be sensible. Unfortunately, however, we have in our race, as in all races, persons who are unintelligent by nature, and there is little or nothing can be done for these people but let them destroy themselves together with the adverse forces. Right? If someone is unwilling to listen to right knowledge, then you just have to leave them alone. You know, they don't know what right knowledge or knowledge is. They're probably stuck under some propaganda or a school of thought which breeds ignorance, obedience without thinking, blind faith, as Christians would call it. NUWABIANS do not do blind faith. If you're not using your mind, your noggin, your noodle, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna have to enslave yourself to somebody else's plan, right? So use the nine mind, which produces nine knowledge, which comes from nine reason. All right, we got verse 27. The mentally dead Ethiopian is a slave to fun, folly, foolishness, and ignorance. He and she are slaves to excessive sex activities, meaning having more sex than is necessary for natural balance between the physical and mental. Any Ethiopian who is a captive to religion is not in his or her right mind, because religion is a product of mankind for mankind's ultimate aims. Ethiopians are captives to strong drinks, narcotics, and all other vices forced upon us through ignorance and oppression. Woolly haired people are slaves to alien culture. That is, we wear other races' names, claim other races' religions, histories, and other identities. We can never be liberated as long as we do this. There is no such thing as physical liberation before mental liberation, for the mental captivity keeps us in physical thraldom. All right, so we gotta stop identifying with alien cultures, which means the slave master here in this country. You know, Moors, I heard some Moors saying that English is a Moorish language and Latin is a Moorish language with no proof. So it kind of seems like you want to go back to being slave boy because you don't know your own identity. You're trying to grab onto their identity and say it's you. So you're playing the same game they played when you do that with no proof. And that's a dangerous game to play. I think Noble Drew Ali said, be careful, Moors, because your own will put you back in slavery. And we're not talking about physical slavery. We're talking about the worst kind of slavery, which is mental and spiritual slavery. That's the worst kind. Because in that way, the slave master don't have to feed you. He don't have to put you in a place to live. He ain't got to do none of that. He just lets you go and get a mortgage. Because only slaves get mortgages. Slaves get mortgages. I want that to kind of sink in for you guys. Only slaves get mortgages. All right. Now we're going to go on to count 1D, verse 28. In the United States of America, Caucasian people, ghost people called white people, are the number one alien and adverse force to Ethiopians. And the second in line is the ignorance of all sorts, which they forced upon the Ethiopian. Third in line, third in line is adverse forces are those I'm sorry, third in line of adverse forces are those people of other races and some in our own race who are dedicated to help maintain and perpetuate Caucasian culture and way of life in Ethiopian communities. Stop. We could talk about the Black Boule and a lot of Greek fraternities, in that last clause, because they're the gatekeepers for the Caucasian way of life and the power over Ethiopian people. Because he can't do it himself, he would be an easy target. The Caucasian would be an easy target for us to blame all of our sorrows and worries on. So he gets somebody that look like you to go into your own organizations and disrupt them internally. Because the sellout Negro is very hard to detect. A Caucasian would be easy to detect. We just kick them out. You're a Caucasian, we just kick you out. But it's a lot harder when the infiltration comes from somebody who looks like you, who studied the same scriptures as you. All right. If a person does not have genuinely kinky hair by nature, he or she is not a member of the Ethiopian race and is an alien plant and alien seed in our communities, as I just mentioned. The Caucasian uses the adverse forces in our communities to lead or mislead us to deeper stagnation and suppression. These adverse forces show up as alien politicians, alien preachers, alien educators, etc. Those who are not Ethiopian in our communities are alien forces who are helping to destroy our race through miscegenation with our beauty Ethiopian females. Now you could just replace the word Ethiopian with more. With more. 29. We cannot rule out poverty and disease as adverse forces, and these also are products of alien enemies in their polluted atmosphere. Neither Caucasian politics, Caucasian religion, nor alien education is solution to our racial, social, and world problems. Our own culture and creativeness are the solution, and the intelligent among us will not allow those Ethiopians among us who are working knowingly and unknowingly for the preservation of mankind's civilization to tell us anything different. Ethiopian independence of thought and independence of action are our way out of prison. The real solutions to our racial, social, and world problems and the road to creativeness and independence is 9 reason, 9 knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, working together with our cycle and season by nature. We just gonna keep moving. Verse 30. If we need something, we must work and get it or create it. So long as we remain mentally dependent on other races to do our thinking and plan our progress, that is how long we remain in the ghettos and slums and the poverty and diseases that they produce. And mental dependence presupposes physical dependence. Therefore, mentally dead Ethiopians say that we cannot make it without Caucasian guidance, not understanding or caring that Caucasian guidance is basically the leadership, together with his helpers of other races, that degraded us into miserable status quo in which we find ourselves. Ethiopian goals must be self-control and community control and control of our own destiny. And this means controlling the businesses and all activities that go on in our areas, including our children's education, which must be compiled, organized, and established by us Ethiopians in our own power and our own system. Our own Ethiopian culture will make us masters of our own destiny, and this is independence and freedom. I hope we all heard in verse 30 that we must control and have self control over our communities and control our own destinies. All right? So, what's the problem? The problem was mentioned before that we depend on Caucasian guidance. How could we do that? As Moors, how could we depend on Caucasian guidance? You know, that makes no sense to me because no one else is doing that except the dumb Negro, like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Dr. Umar Johnson too. I think he's a paid agent. Where's the school at, brother? Why isn't it operating? Man, we could get a school in somebody's house and teach 5 to 10 Moorish children. You know what I mean? So he got these grandiose plans, but he can't even do the basics. You know what I mean? All right. After a long lunch break, I had some turkey tacos that my mama taught me to cook a long time ago. Rest in peace, mama. Rest in peace. All right, but we're talking about the 9 ball, and before the break, we stopped at count 1C30, so we're going to continue with 31. You know what? I think we're on count 1D. Yeah, count 1D. Okay, but let's keep this thing going. All right. Africa is wherever we Africans are located in our right mind, just as it is misleading to urge woolly-haired people to think Caucasian politics or religion is the solution to our problems. It is likewise misleading to urge them that moving from one place to another is the solution, because when people are misinformed that a boat is coming for them, this takes away their initiative and incentive to do something productive and constructive for themselves right now where they are. So they just wait and wait for nothing, pinning away in ignorance, idleness, and vague rhetoric. 32. Our Ethiopian ancestors, the African pygmies, in their aerial form, 9 ether, grew the universes, and the universe is the suns, planets, stars, etc. So why should we evolutionary Taws confine ourselves to one spot on this planet when our ancestors made it and we were in North America long before the Indians? However, it is reasonable and practical that as our own cultural resurrection progresses, many Ethiopian farmers, tradesmen, technicians, and all types of workmen necessary to help build the economic and military dependence of our motherland, Africa, Nubia, will repatriate to that continent in their right minds for that purpose. 33. Since evolution is reversing, the Caucasian, the ghost man and woman, the white man and woman will start returning to the graves and caves from whence they came. And this means the atmosphere of the present will continue to grow stronger, making us wiser via 9 ether. Our Ethiopian forces in nature. The foregoing means that Caucasian ruling power will decrease, and Ethiopian ruling power will increase as we Ethiopians rise like the sun from the graves of ignorance called mental death. The Caucasian is too powerful to fight with arms at this time. So our answer is fighting ignorance with knowledge and destroying idleness with productive, constructive activities. Ignorance and idleness are two very destructive forces which are very detrimental to our progress toward liberation. We Ethiopians cannot afford ignorance and idleness and achieve the independence of mind and body we need for survival and proper well-being. All right, this is the last section we're going to read today. This is count 1E, called 9 ether or 9 ether. 34. 9 ether is the mental power and chemical forces that grew the universes. 9 ether is the combination of all existing gases and chemicals. 9 ether is the original forces of order and the form and formula of 9 ether. Our Ethiopian ancestors grew the universes and then personified themselves as African pygmies at the source of the Nile in equatorial Africa. 9 ether began as a spontaneous fire in primeval chaos and grew bodies for itself called true stars or suns, one of which is the sun of our solar system. Ethiopians are personifications of the suns because our energies grew the suns. 35. 9 ether produced the bodies of the suns, and in turn the suns produce 9 ether. The suns are self-created, meaning self-grown, and are also self-existent. 9 ether is black, therefore the bodies of the suns are black, jet black. 9 ether is the power of 9 reason, which produces the power of 9 knowledge. There is no other power or force strong enough or wise enough to mentally and physically liberate the Ethiopian from his or her grave of ignorance and prison of serfdom, but 9 ether, the Ethiopian forces and natures. 9 ether is our powers in nature and by nature. 36. When we Ethiopians lost our power to reason soundly, 9 ether is what we lost. When we Ethiopians lost our spirit power, 9 ether is what we lost. 9 ether is the specific, scientific, and spirit power of Ethiopians by nature, meaning 9 ether is our true nature. The power 9 ether helps us Ethiopians history and restores Ethiopian culture. And this means mental liberation, and mental liberation in turn beget physical liberation. The solution to our problems must be one which will work for us worldwide, because our racial problems are worldwide. The reasonable and practical worldwide solution is mental liberation, which produces Ethiopian creativeness, the ability to create everything we need, and Ethiopian independence, the ability to think independently and act independently of other races. We lost our reason. We lost our power to reason. Wow. Okay. Let's keep reading. 37. All power begins in the mind, be it political, economic, military, or scientific, because the body is just a framework and tool for the mind. Therefore, the prime power is mind power, from which all other powers develop and mature, including the power of liberation. 9 ether develops 9 reason. 9 reason develops 9 knowledge, and 9 knowledge develops 9 mind power, which is a prerequisite to Ethiopian mental and physical liberation. All right, now we're at count 2 for the next reading. So I hope you'll come back and visit Rit Nalej Radio. And that's all I got. Wadu.
So sitting next to you, or sitting behind you or front, so sitting next to you, you might be sitting next to Black Devil.
It states in Psalms chapter 82, verse 6, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
This is the Elder Raziel with a message for the children of the Allah. I walked a long journey on the short path, where after this non-mind, this mind expands math itself. Came through with the master teacher. Get wealth from what I have to teach you. Not a preacher, the Anunnaki created this creature, fully packed with features. NUWABIAN knocking off leeches. Peace to Malachi.
Z York, Noble Drew Ali, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, respect and pay homage. From the NUWABIAN tribe, we hope to see you. We still kicking the flows, all the girls know. Just list the show so your mind grows toward a genetic explosion. X out whoever was chosen by deception to sell out Negro, the greatest destruction. Without question, knowledge is a weapon. Like Cain, ain't no half-stepping to a greater direction.